We'll cover questions 13 and 14 from the book test. There's one additional question. I'll post the sheet, so if you want to give question 15 a try without my oversight, please do. If you need help with it, let me know. These are the types of questions that require many steps. One being using molarity and an equation and stoichiometry to calculate values, and then the other you're doing similar things but also working in titration, so the molarity equation comes into play twice. What I have done here on this outline for the review that I'm working through is write out the steps that you will take so that you know if you get stuck what you should do next. Those steps are also typed onto the test. So it would be a question that looks like this, asking you for some value, and then the steps are listed below so that you know what steps to take in order to solve the problem. Okay, so let's get started. 13 asks, a chemist reacts 30 milliliters of 5.6 molar hydrochloric acid with an excess of MgOH2. Remember, excess means you're just ignoring that because it's not your limiting reactant. How many grams of magnesium chloride will be produced? Okay, so step one is going to be to write and balance the equation. In the case of this module, since we're doing acids and bases, these are going to be neutralization reactions. So step one, write and balance the equation. So I know I have HCl reacting with magnesium hydroxide. What am I forming? As always, water and a salt in a neutralization reaction. So magnesium and chlorine, MgCl2. And then I'll need to balance. So 2 hydrogens reacting with 2 hydroxides to form 2 waters, and I'm balanced. It's pretty easy. Okay, step 2. Calculate the moles of hydrochloric acid using the molarity equation. So we did that just a few minutes ago on the simpler problems. Remember, molarity equals moles over the volume in liters. So I'm given, this is my volume, this is my molarity. I want to know moles, so I need to rearrange the equation to solve for moles. So multiply both sides by volume. You will get moles equals molarity times volume. Plug in your values. 5.6 molar times, remember my volume has to be in liters, so divide that number by 1,000. Move your decimal 3 places. 0.0300 liters. Two sig figs here. 0.17 moles. And this is HCl. We're going to do stoichiometry in a minute, so we need to keep up with what we have. So 0.17 moles of hydrochloric acid. Lastly, step 3. Use stoichiometry to go from moles of one substance to grams of another. Make sure you have your flip chart if that helps you on these types of problems. 0.17 moles of HCl. I have moles of hydrochloric acid. I want to know how much magnesium chloride I'll produce. So I'm going to go to moles of magnesium chloride first from moles of hydrochloric acid. And then once I know moles of magnesium chloride, I'll go to grams of magnesium chloride. Okay, when I'm relating moles of two substances, I use the coefficients from my balanced equation. That's why it's so important to write and balance the equation first. So 2 from hydrochloric acid there, 1 from magnesium chloride there, and then I'll calculate my molar mass of magnesium chloride, how many grams in 1 mole. Remember? So magnesium is 24.31. Chlorine, I'm going to have 2 times 35.45, 95.21 grams per mole. Plug that in up here, 95.21. I need to slide this a little bit. Okay, 0.17 times 95.21 divided by 2. And that's going to give me, in 2 significant figures, 8.1 grams of MgCl2, magnesium chloride. Okay, make sure everything cancels. Okay, now I'm going to do question 14, which is the titration question. If a chemist titrates 120 milliliters of sodium hydroxide with a 5 molar solution of hydrochloric acid and requires 56 milliliters of the acid to reach the end point, what is the concentration of the sodium hydroxide? Again, I have all the steps written out for you, so do them in order. Step 1, write and balance the equation. So I'm neutralizing base with a known acid. I have 120 mils of sodium hydroxide. I don't know how concentrated it is, but I know my acid. I know I'm neutralizing. This is a neutralization reaction. So hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide to form water and salt. Have chlorine left over, sodium left over. This one's really straightforward. NaCl, sodium chloride, is my salt. Okay, this is balanced, so they're all ones. That will make this a little easier. 2, calculate moles of hydrochloric acid. So I have this molarity of hydrochloric acid, and this is my volume. Remember from above, molarity equals moles over volume in liters. If I want to solve for moles, I get moles equals molarity times volume. Okay, molarity, 5.0 molar times my volume in liters. Remember, divide by 1,000 or move your decimal 1, 2, 3 places, 0.0560 liters. Punch that into your calculator. 0.28 moles. So that's step 2. I calculated moles of hydrochloric acid, moles of HCl. I'll slide this a little bit. Step 3. Use your mole to mole ratio to find moles of NaOH. This is stoichiometry, very straightforward. In this case, all of my coefficients are ones, so I could just say, okay, 0.28 moles of HCl would also be 0.28 moles of NaOH, but I'm going to write it out for those of you who are very visual. I want to go from moles of hydrochloric acid to moles of NaOH. Remember, use your coefficients 1 to 1. Moles of HCl will cancel, and I'll get 0.28 moles of NaOH. Okay, so now I know how many moles of NaOH I started with. Step 4, calculate the molarity of the NaOH, the sodium hydroxide, using the molarity equation. So molarity equals moles over volume in liters, still the same. Okay, I've just calculated my moles, 0.28 moles over my volume. I was given that up above 120 milliliters. Needs to be converted to liters. I'm going to have to scroll up a little bit. Okay, that would be 0.1200 liters. Plug that into your calculator. Two significant figures gives me 2.3 molar NaOH. Lots of steps. But again, I've given you the steps so that you can refer back to those if you get stuck. If it helps you to number them the way I did while going through this, that is totally okay. And I would urge each of you to go through question 15 on your own and make sure you're comfortable with that. And if you have any questions from the homework, again, just let me know.